I'd rather be the one who's inconvenienced than inconvenience someone else, So,
Yeah, that's not... What star sign are you?
Sagittarius.
Okay.
Half man, half horse.
Oh,
in all the right places.
Oh, nay. Oh, look who we've got on board. Brian Molko, how you doing, Brian?
I'm doing really well, and I'm really happy to be here.
And thank you for flying Alanair.
Oh, well, it's very luxurious. It's more luxurious to what I'm used to.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You love a tour bus, though, don't you?
I'm very fond of a tour bus because,
Why do you like a tour bus?
Because I cannot stand airports. And I don't like flying very much, which is problematic for me.
Okay, this is going to be a very short episode.
No, but I've flown...
You can travel without a plane, can't you?
Well, I've flown everywhere, I suppose. Everywhere apart from Antarctica. So it's just something I have to do, and I just have to get over myself,
It's so lovely meeting you, though.
Well, I'm very glad you said that.
Because I've got a story, you've got a story.
And I've got a story too, and it might be the same story because we've actually met before at an airport.
Yes.
In London.
In London. Was it 2008?
Something around that. It was maybe 10 years ago. And you...
No, it was not 10 years ago. I was on Friday Night Project.
Well,
This has got to be 2008, 2009.
I've been in a band too long, so time and memory doesn't really work anymore, So I remember it being about 10 years ago. And I used to live in Barcelona.
Yeah.
So I used to commute backwards and forwards quite a bit.
Yeah.
And I was flying back to Barca, and I was stood in the queue to check in.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, I saw out of the corner of my eye 2 very flustered gentlemen rushing in.
Yeah.
Obviously late for their flight.
And judgy.
I spoke to the ground staff very quickly, and they were moved to the front of the queue.
Oh, no.
Which was fine because I understood that you guys were late. And you
a man of the people, remember, Brian?
And you needed to make your flight. And I thought to myself, oh, I think I recognize this gentleman. That's Chatty Man from the telly.
Yes.
There was a bit of a kerfuffle, as there sometimes is when you're trying to check in. It was taking a little bit too long. And
I was going, that's fine. And don't say, go on, carry on.
And then you just turned around and started talking to the person who was in the queue behind you, which happened to be me.
Yes.
And you were just apologizing about it taking so long and explaining, that you were late for your flight and that they were trying to get you onto your flight. Oh. And I thought to myself, wow. How polite, how wonderfully polite and how wonderfully gracious.
Yeah.
And I didn't think you recognized me at the time.
I did, because I said to Justin, I think that's Brian Molko.
Okay, well, I didn't think you recognized me, so I was just kind of like, well, obviously he doesn't know me from Adam, and I could be anyone.
I was very flustered.
Oh, well, you spoke to me with such kind of kindness and politeness, and
I was embarrassed.
At that point, I thought to myself, oh, that's a real testament to this man's character. Well, you spoke to me with real dignity. And I thought, well, I could have been anybody.
No, but I didn't. It's only when I was speaking about, I'm so sorry. And then, when you were walking, or obviously being, pushed through VIP on my buggy as I'm whizzing through, waving at all the poor people. Joking. And then I said, Justin, that's Brian.
But when you turned around to speak to the person in the queue behind you, you weren't expecting to see a rock star.
No, I was not. No.
So I could have been anyone, and you were prepared to apologize and be extremely polite and explain what was going on. And I just thought, wow, what a testament to this man's character, And obviously, I knew of you.
Yes.
But that's when I really started to like you very much. And in fact, in that moment, you reminded me of David Bowie. Because David Bowie...
Do you know what? I hated this anecdote when I first started. Now I love it. It's my favourite one.
Because I could have been, I could have been anyone standing behind you. And David was like that very much as well. And I learnt that from him. I learnt how to be with people from him. He treated everyone with the same amount of dignity. It didn't matter if you were the waiter or a world-famous rock star. He spoke to everybody the same way. And that reminded me of David.
Well, that's so sweet, because we had the comedian Jack Whitehall, and he said, I've got a story about you. And I was in the back of a cab, apparently drunk, which doesn't sound like me at all, and I demanded a kebab. and I left the man's kebab as a shithole. Apparently there was chili sauce smeared up. I mean, I think he was exaggerating. But yeah, isn't it nice to have a nice anecdote?
Well, there you
Thank
go.
you for that. That's so
Yeah.
sweet. But you know where I was heading to? I was filming Friday Night Project, a show back in the day, and I was going to meet Mel C from the Spice Girls. And we sang, Baby When You're Gone, the Bryan Adams one. I sang that in an EastEnders pub. And there was a photo of Wellard. Do you know Wellard?
Oh, Wellard, the dog. Yeah.
And I was at the beginning of my fame there. And when I'm this boy from Northampton and I'm singing with Mel C and there's Wellard with his tongue hanging out looking down at me. And I was like, what the hell is going on? Well, and then I speak to you in the queue.
Yeah,
what a holiday that was.
But memory is a kind of like it's quite a fickle mistress, because when we remember something, we don't remember the actual event. We remember the last time we remembered the actual event. And in my mind, in my mind, you and your companion were dressed in very colorful, stripy suits.
Yes.
And I'm sure at least one of you was wearing a boater hat.
That'll be Justin.
Yeah.
Justin
Did you guys? Did you guys used to travel a lot with boater hats? Yeah. So I didn't make it up. You guys looked like you were heading to Port Marion to be.
Yeah, not Port Marion. I think it was more Magaluf. Isn't that strange? Because they say memory is a bit like when you put a red jumper in the wash. It loses its colours and everything.
Exactly.
Every time it has a spin. And that's what memory's like, isn't it?
Yeah, so we do a kind of a director's cut. So I was wondering if those stripy suits and the boater was something that I invented, but in fact...
Have you ever heard about that experiment they did with a load of people? They put a photo album and they put them in a hot air balloon, the family, even though they'd never been on the hot air balloon, and nearly every family went, oh my God, you remember that trip? For tricking their mind, how the memory does play games with you. Isn't that interesting? Oh my God, I remember that. They never did. They were just seeing whether you could fool them.
I think that's called the Mandela Effect, isn't it?
Is it?
Yeah, I think so, because it's like a shared delusion, a shared delusional memory that people have of something that never happened, but hundreds and thousands of people actually believe that it did. Like, it comes from, I think that some people believed that Nelson Mandela actually died in jail when he didn't and became, president of South Africa. But it's like the Mandela Effect is kind of like a shared delusion to do with memory. It's just kind of crazy.
Maybe as we were getting on that EasyJet flight, that was a deluded memory.
No, I think we're definitely deluded, but not at that moment.
No. Well, listen. Speaking of memory, you're going back to Recreated. Let's talk about that new album. Now, you said, what did you say? I love it. You said you're not improving it, you're completing it. Explain.
Well,
tell everyone, you're going back to your first album.
I went back to the first album because our 30th anniversary was coming up, and I decided that I wanted to make a new version of it. Because when we did it 30 years ago, it was probably the second or third time we'd been in a studio. So we didn't really know how to use the technology, and we didn't really know how to kind of realize the sound that we had in our heads. All that we knew how to do was just kind of play in the studio like we played on stage, So the album always felt a little bit incomplete to me. And as a consequence, I sort of developed a kind of dysfunctional relationship with it. And I saw this as an opportunity to mend my relationship with all of these songs in order to be able to go out and do a really big 30th anniversary tour, focusing on our earliest music and do it with joy instead of, dysfunction. And, I think that I had convinced myself that I didn't do as good a job on that record than
Isn't that funny?
Yeah,
it's iconic,
exactly.
When you look at it, and you were Placebo was so before its time, and it's almost like you're from the future, just lyrically, sonically, aesthetically. I mean, you were doing stuff that people are doing now, and this is 30 years ago.
Exactly. And I think that's what basically, it really, really worked in our favor, because at the time, the mainstream music scene was just filled with Britpop.
Yeah, it was quite laddie as well,
and it was very, very macho.
Yeah.
A bit like going to a football match, you know, going to a gig in those days, you know, kind of thing. And Stefan and I used to just, even when we went out, we used to stand out, you know, kind of thing from the crowd. And we used, you know, people used to react quite negatively towards us, you know, sort of thing. And that just kind of became fuel for us on stage. And it kind of became fuel to kind of, to be who we were, you know. And, but we were very much influenced by a kind of a Bowie, Lou Reed, Iggy Pop kind of tradition, you know, kind of thing. And, the first time I saw Bowie, it was the Ashes to Ashes video, you know, which melted my brain, you know. So it kind of worked in our favor because we sort of stood out, you know, like sore thumbs everywhere we went, socially and on stage. Yeah. And so we were able to garner a lot of attention at the beginning because we were so different, you know. And I don't tend to think really very much about the fact that we may have influenced a lot of bands these days, you know, but there were definitely less bands playing around with gender fluidity.
Oh my God, yeah, you were so...
At that time, you know, that's a fact.
Of course, yeah. So how did you feel going back to the album? Was you scared? Were you proud? I mean, you know, when I look back at some of my old routines, sometimes you're like, that's a bit cringe. Did you ever feel that about any of your songs? Or you're proud? Or you go, God, that's a good bloody song?
Well...
Is there any where you're a bit like, oh dear?
It was only when I went back and listened to the album for the first time after 10 years. And I kind of did it in a strange order. Because first I made the decision I was going to remake the album. And then I called a producer friend of mine and asked him if he'd co-produce it with me. And I called Stefan as well, and I told him what I wanted to do, and he laughed at me, you know, like, you lunatic, go ahead. It was only at that point, once I'd enlisted people to work with me, that I went, oh, maybe the professional thing to do would be to go back and listen to the album itself.
Yeah, I think you should do that. I'm no music producer, but yeah.
So I approached the computer with a little bit of trepidation, you know, and put the album on. And by the third or fourth song, I realized that this kind of dysfunctional relationship that I had with the record was just a creation of my own mind. Yeah, you know. Yeah. I had a feeling once, and I decided it was the truth, and then that feeling haunted me for 25 years. And listening to it again, I just went, okay, I understand why people think this is a classic record, because it's full of exuberance, you know, lots of youthful energy, you know. It's extremely cheeky. It's quite licentious. It's
Nancy Boy is almost like Grinder before Grinder happened, isn't it? The way you're going through it.
Well, yeah, I was trying to describe the most kind of debauched night that a quote unquote Nancy Boy could have in London, you know, because it was all still very, very fresh for me. Yeah. And I wanted to take all the kind of abuse that we would get socially when we went out, and I wanted to reclaim it, you know. And I was probably at one point called a Nancy Boy by somebody in a bar. You know,
kind of thing. That's never happened to me.
I can't imagine.
I'm lucky. I've dodged all that.
And
I'm quite straight acting.
I just thought I'd be able to...
Straight to the next cock.
You definitely pass. Not.
Oh, I know. I'd love to be...
You're not fooling anyone.
No, how rude.
But I wanted to reclaim those kind of homophobic insults, you know, and take the power away from the people who were hurling them at me. Yeah. And go, okay, and this is what a Nancy Boy gets up to. Yeah. And that in your dreams, you'll never be able to get up to what we get up to. Yeah. You know, kind of thing. So it was a celebration of kind of debauchery and licentiousness, really.
This is another bit of a tangent, but you know, you were saying about how when you went with trepidation just to see what it was like. Have you ever seen that Kathy Bates clip where she said she never thanked her mum at the Oscars? And she went, I never thanked my mum. And he said, you did? She went, no, I didn't. It did, and she showed about, and then you could see the relief. She went, "Oh, I did." Her mind had played tricks on her.
It's crazy.
Isn't that weird?
The mind is such a fascinating thing. Yeah. How we fill in all the gaps.
Yeah.
You know, with, and I think it's because our brains they want us to feel safe. So if there's a gap somewhere, they'll fill it in with something that's familiar, which is, I guess, why we can have kind of what people call hallucinations.
Yeah.
You know, on a daily basis. You know, without the help of any mushrooms or anything.
Yeah, of course, because we don't advocate magic mushrooms on this show. I know it feels like a lot of the time I'm on them, but that's not true. Can't prove anything. See when the smoke.
I would have loved this wall. Back in the 90s, I would have stared at this for hours.
And listen, I've got an idea to recreate the Recreated album.
Okay, how are we going to do that?
Well, listen to this, and this is all on tape, so I own half of this idea. You know, you're called Placebo. Mm-hmm. Pla-subo. You do a duet with Subo.
With Subo. Pla-subo.
I mean, isn't that amazing? Subo singing Nancy Boy.
I think
it's mental, but it could work.
If Stars in Your Eyes,
yes!
Celebrity Stars in Your Eyes still existed, could you...
Subo is Pla-subo.
That's a new one. Normally we get called Placenta, which I think is quite nice.
Yeah, coming from the womb.
Have you ever eaten placenta?
No, I haven't, love. Have you?
Well, I wanted to when my son was born.
Okay.
You know, but...
It's meant to be full of nutrients.
Yeah, and I wanted to kind of have a placenta party and, you know, invite my friends and everything, but... My son's mother point blank refused.
No, that is a bit...
You are not eating something that came out of my body.
No.
And I can understand that.
Is it cannibalism? Is it? No, you have to eat your... No, what's cannibalism? Yeah, it's cannibalism.
To a degree, it is kind of cannibalism.
It is, just saying. Yeah. Just saying. Okay.
Apparently, our flesh tastes like bacon. Which is why we're so attracted to bacon, to the smell of bacon.
Sorry, I just spat in your face.
And that's why cannibals used to call...
I feel like you're looking me now like I'm a hog roast.
Well, cannibals used to call us long pigs. That's where the phrase
long
pigs comes from. Yeah, it comes from the old days when the white man went out to explore and spread Catholicism, etc., and would encounter cannibals. And they loved a human because they reminded them of pigs.
I bet you're good at a pub quiz. Because you have this very eclectic mind, lots of info. Are you one of those people that knows all this knowledge but can't remember your PIN?
Exactly.
Or where you live? I'm like that. Oh, I know this building's from there. Who am I?
Yeah, exactly. Do you ever walk through the threshold of a door and then just have to stop and go, why am I here?
Oh, yes. All the time.
It happens,
all the time.
And yes, I do forget my PIN, and I spend way too much time looking for my phone. But
Yes.
So now I have an orange one. You know, so now the anxiety attack lasts 3 seconds instead of 30.
That's so good. I lose my keys, wallet, passport, everything, literally all the time. So strange, isn't it? I think you've got one of those. You've got the same mind as me, I think, a bit all over the place.
Yeah, we've got a lot of useless information in our brains.
Dolly Daydream. That's what my dad used to call me. Here's Dolly Daydream.
Oh, that's a compliment.
Yes,
that's a compliment.
Yeah, great track name as well.
Exactly. Without daydreaming, where would we be? You know.
Yes, Brian, that's right. Listen, we've got to talk about travel.
Okay.
Now, what's this quote here? You love going for winter sun. Mm-hmm. You said your bones are porous. Is that?
Did I say that?
Yeah. Is that a medical condition?
I think it's called osteoporosis, isn't it?
What's that? Porous. So, which doctor told you this, or are you self-diagnosing?
I think it was just because I found out that our bones become more porous as we age.
Yeah.
So if you're planning to murder someone, and hide them in a river, it's always better to murder an older person because they will sink.
That's good to know.
And how this is a travel story, I have no idea.
It always tends to get a bit dark with you. Oh, you know, cannibalism, they'd love you. So listen, you're born in Brussels, is that right?
That's correct.
You have lived everywhere, and you love a tour bus. So is travelling in your blood? Does it feed you?
I don't know if it necessarily feeds me, but it's definitely in my blood. I'm kind of a reluctant traveler because I don't enjoy the process of traveling, but I love arriving.
Yes.
Arriving is one of the best things ever.
Yeah.
I'm old enough to remember when you were able to smoke on planes, when flying was a lot easier and it was a bit more glamorous.
I know,
you know?
I know.
And now it's kind of stressful every time we go to an airport.
Yeah,
kind of thing. And also, airports have turned into these kind of massive cathedrals to consumerism.
Yeah.
You know, so it kind of, an airport marries the two things that I like the least, which is kind of flying and shopping. You know, kind of thing. So it's just kind of, I don't really enjoy that, but I have to do it, so I have to get over myself.
Yeah.
And I've been traveling nonstop for 30 years.
Yeah.
So, but the arriving is the best part of it.
Because what people don't understand about smoking on planes, I remember that. What you would do is people would just smoke at the back of the plane. Because then the smoke wouldn't come to you, would it? Because it's at the back. And we all know smoke loves to just stay where it's put. I know, it's so weird. You look back at it now, you go, are you crazy?
Do you know that since they've banned smoking on planes, the airlines have realized that it's cheaper to give us less air because they don't have to. So now, when you get on a plane, there is 60% less air.
Does every story have to go bleak?
I haven't finished it yet. It's going to get bleaker.
Oh, my God. Okay.
And that's why we have deep vein thrombosis and air rage.
Is that why your legs are porous?
Exactly.
Because you're being denied air on an EasyJet.
Exactly. So, you can go back and check, but deep vein thrombosis and air rage didn't happen when we used to be able to smoke on planes. So I think we should bring it back.
Bring smoking on. Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
You know.
Great.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Do you smoke?
Yes. I'm wearing a patch right now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Do you do the vaping?
No.
No.
No. I can't sing if I
Yes.
vape. You know, it has some kind of oil in it that dries out the old vocal cords.
Yeah, it's not good for you anyway, is it really?
No, I don't think so.
No. And where are you going on your tour? Mm-hmm. Is it festivals or is it...
No, it's our own tour. So we're starting in Portugal. We're going to Spain, France, Germany, Italy, Latvia. Just, you know.
You must be so excited.
I am, you know, and now that I've mended my relationship with these songs, you know, I can go and do this with real joy.
Yeah.
You know, because I know the audience have been waiting for this. Placebo fans have really been waiting us to focus on our early work. And finally we've come around to that. So, and their joy it feeds us, you know, and then our joy feeds back, and then you get this kind of sense of synergy and collective euphoria, you know, and that can lead to kind of like a transcendental experience. Which is what I'm always trying to create, when you forget yourself and you forget time and you're in a bubble universe. You know, kind of thing. So
I get that.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping to be able to create this time, and feed off the joy of the audience. But I need to bring my own, you see, in order for it to work.
You need to bring your own joy.
Absolutely.
Yeah, well, don't start on stage talking about cannibalism and bloody running out of air. Try and keep it light. Did you find it hard to conjure up joy?
At times.
What makes you laugh? For me, it's like dogs with worms. Have you seen anything like a dog drags its ass across the floor? That's never not funny.
Well, farts make me laugh.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you know, they're really funny.
Yeah.
Celia's fart was possibly...
Well, that's not funny, because I was attached to her. That's what people go, like, oh, do you remember Celia farting? Yes, I couldn't move.
But that's an iconic moment on TV.
I know, wasn't it? It was.
I mean,
we didn't know whether it was going to stay in, and the producer said, look, it's funny. And Celia, who is absolutely amazing, went, keep it in. She's such a good laugh. But at the poor BAFTAs, everyone was mentioning her fart. And then Jennifer Saunders went, Celia Imrie is this amazing, iconic actor. Everyone's just making out she's a bag of wind. It was like, poor Celia. She's iconic. Everyone's going, smelly.
Imagine having a 50-year career and what you're, you know, in acting, you know,
I know.
numerous awards, and what you're remembered for is one fart.
I know.
You know?
I know. That's showbiz. Poor Celia. Have you ever had a holiday nightmare?
Oh, holiday nightmare.
And what is your idea of a nightmare?
Well, you mentioned it earlier. We were doing a gig in Mallorca, and we stayed in Magaluf. And
Or Shagamuff, as I like to call it.
but there aren't very many women in Magaluf. There's just
What?
you know, no. I mean, it's mostly when I went, it was mostly filled with drunken young men in their early 20s.
Stag do's, isn't it?
And but I noticed that there were hardly any women around, you know, and so I did wonder why it hasn't turned into a gay resort yet, you know, kind of thing, because there's nobody but men to shag, you know. But I had to stay in Magaluf.
Rebrand Magaluf as
I think that would be controversial.
Yeah.
But perhaps with a little bit.
I thought of a pun, but I don't know. It's a bit magapoof.
Oh, that's good.
I don't know if that's homophobic. Is it? Can I say it? Magapoof?
You can. Other people can't, but you definitely can.
Magapoof? I'm going to stop now. Man aloof.
Oh.
Wow, there's a man aloof. Carry on.
Sounds like Damon Albarn. So yeah, I think, you know, if you read Dante's Inferno, there's 9 circles of hell.
Yeah.
But that's because Magaluf hadn't been invented yet, and it would definitely be the 10th.
My God.
But thankfully we weren't there for very long.
No,
you know,
no.
It was quite close to the festival that we were playing. So
Okay, in and out. I
you
get
know,
it.
I do like going back to Mallorca, but I avoid that part of the island. I really like the Balearics.
Oh, yeah. Have you ever had a holiday romance?
A holiday romance, not since I was a kid. I've had a couple of romances in Rehab.
Oh.
And that is very, very, very naughty.
Yeah, that is naughty.
That's very much frowned upon.
No.
But you
no,
know,
that's
but, you
at
know,
least it's not on holiday.
stick a bunch of like-minded people, you know, in a room together. Eventually, something's going to happen. Do you know what I mean?
You think about it, and you know, you're thinking.
You have so much in common, you know,
Yes.
already, you know, because you're all messed up. You know, kind of thing that, and you know.
I never thought of that. It is rife, isn't it? Really, you know. Oh,
So I think it's unusual that people haven't done that more.
No.
know,
Okay.
kind of thing.
That would actually be a good.
But
play. Wouldn't that be a good play or a film?
But you have to be devious about it because you have to do it all in secret. So, you know, it takes a lot of planning.
Oh, okay.
You know, kind of thing.
So what is it like? See you behind the bike sheds.
Well, yeah. Well, this is the way that we can avoid security, you know, kind of thing. So take the long way round and come in through the back door, you know, kind of thing. That's what we're thinking. Well, excuse me.
Come in my back door. Don't tell anyone.
Well,
no.
it depends on who you're having a romance with.
Of course,
you know,
love. Oh,
you
thanks
know,
for the
and, you know me,
intel.
my options are open. I'm very equal opportunity.
Yes, good for you.
I believe in that.
Good for you. What makes you complain when you're on holiday? Do you hate like a smoky room? Do you hate a noisy room? Is it rudeness?
What makes me complain? The thing is
Or
that
do you complain? Because some people don't complain.
I used to complain,
Yeah.
and then I realized that it gets you absolutely nowhere.
And then people just slag you off.
In fact, it gets you worse service.
Yeah.
You know, and the same thing with like on a flight with cabin crew and people at reception. You know, they have too many people to deal with, so they will end up prioritizing the people who treat them with humanity and treat them, you know, with friendliness and kindness.
Yeah.
So there could be somebody who's really entitled and rude in the presidential suite, and you could just be staying in a normal room.
Yeah.
But the way that you speak and interact with the staff is going to get you a better service than the rude guy upstairs.
Yes, that's
you know,
right.
and that's what I've learned over the years.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
never complain. If there is an issue, try and bring it to.
But what gets you go? What gets you go? Is it like, say you found I've put on one of those
pubic hairs in the shower.
Oh,
That
disgusting.
that gets my goat.
Yeah, disgusting.
Checking in and not having an internet code. You know,
Yes.
and having to call down and say, "Oh, can you please give me the
Yeah,
internet
yeah.
codes?" You know, sort of thing. Just little things like that
Yeah.
after a long trip. You know,
What about smelly robe?
smelly robe.
But they don't wash the robe. They put it up and you put it on and you can smell like, you know, like those Tesco value beef burgers. You know. You know. And you're like, have they put a beef burger up this robe?
I don't know what kind of hotels you've been staying in, but you know.
No, they don't clean the robe. You know, you get a robe and the slippers.
Yeah.
There, let me have a moan. You've had a moan. You were moaning about everything then. You turned to right, Karen.
What's the male equivalent of a Karen?
That's the misogyny, because there isn't a male Karen, is there? That's misogyny. Because men moan. Nigel? Oh, you're right, Nigel.
Which Nigel are we talking about?
No, we're just trying to think of a name that's a bit like a Karen. It's quite... Hello, what are you doing? You can't park here.
Oh, God, yeah. Well, I think that happens too. I think equally men and women behave that way.
Oh, yeah.
You know, kind of thing. It's just that we live in a slightly misogynistic world still, don't we?
Sadly, I know, love. I hear you, sister. Mm-hmm. Where's been the fanciest hotel you've ever stayed in where you've pinched yourself and gone, oh my God, this is amazing?
I guess it's got to be the Maldives.
Everyone says the Maldives.
You know, but it's also
Were you bored there?
No, not really, because I stayed on an island where at one point somebody had brought...
No, this is not...
It's not dark. This is really nice, you know.
There was a cannibal next door.
At some point, somebody had brought a pair of rabbits to this island.
Oh, okay.
And so when we arrived, it was just everywhere you turned, there were bunny rabbits. And it just seemed very, very strange. You're in this island in the middle of nowhere, you know, miles away from home. And you're expecting something a lot more Asian. And you're met with just like bunny rabbits. You know, so that was really cool.
Smuggled the rabbits on.
I think so, and then the rabbits escaped, and now there's a massive population of rabbits on this island. You know, which was really fun.
Oh, you don't want to see a rabbit. You see a petting zoo. Why do them all day see a rabbit?
They have.
I was so pissed off.
They have small reef sharks as well, which come up to the beach, and they will just sort of swim past you and rub themselves up against you.
That
which
sea
is
would
really
be brown.
Sweet.
That sea would be brown. If I look down and I see a shark, basically.
But the thing is, when you go
when
you go to the Maldives, because you're staying on an island, you know, they have you by the balls. Really, you have to. You end up paying for absolutely everything because there's nowhere to go.
Yeah.
So by the end of a week, you have to buy the water. You know, for example, you can't drink the tap water.
I know.
And so it's overpriced water. So by the end of the week, your water bill is already in the thousands of pounds.
Oh my
Do you know
God.
What I mean?
Yeah.
So,
they've got you. What can you do? Yeah.
You know, you got
killing the rabbits.
Yeah, kill a rabbit and eat it. Make a bonfire.
Yeah.
You know,
tasty.
And make a rabbit stew.
Are you adventurous when you go abroad? Will you have like the street food and stuff?
Oh,
Will
yeah.
You find the locals eat and all that?
Yeah. And that can be
nice.
dangerous. I mean, I did that once in Thailand, in Bangkok. I went to this food market for lunch, where all the Thai workers went, you know, and I was literally the only white guy in the place, you know. And I didn't really know what I was ordering, you know. So I went around and ordered a few things that looked quite nice. And all the locals started laughing at me. You know, before I'd even eaten a morsel, you know, they saw what I was ordering and they were all chuckling to themselves. You know, look at this farang, because that's what they call in Thailand. It's what they call tourists. They call them farangs. Look at this farang. He's in for a big surprise. Yeah. You know, I took one mouthful of whatever I'd ordered, and it was the hottest thing I'd ever tasted in my life. And I ended up running around this market trying to find a can of Sprite. You know, and nobody understood me. You know, and they're like, Sprite! Yeah, and that made them laugh even more, you know. So I've definitely been that sort of, you know, idiot tourist abroad, trying to eat like the locals and failing, you know.
Okay. Well, listen, we're about to start our descent, so we've got time now for the quick fire round.
Oof. Okay.
Are you ready for this?
Sure.
Adrenaline junkie or adrenaline slunky?
Slunky.
Beach or pool?
Beach. Window
or aisle?
Aisle.
Oh,
yeah.
Why no window?
Because I'm told that having
you've got a statistic here. There's a statistic brewing. I can feel it.
I'm told that having a weak bladder is a sign of intelligence. So I need to sit on the aisle. You know, kind of thing, because I need to visit the toilet quite a bit.
And it's never worse when someone's asleep, and then you sort of got to go over them, and then you end up doing like a magic Mike routine.
Exactly.
With like someone who's asleep. And they wake up and they go,
I'd rather be the one who's inconvenienced than inconvenience someone else, you know. So
yeah, that's not... What star sign are you?
Sagittarius.
Okay.
Half man, half horse.
Oh,
in all the right places.
Oh, nay. Mile high or I'm too shy?
Oh.
What about the smoking bit, would you? You might need a cigarette after the end of it.
Yeah, you might, yeah.
Hey, I'll go down the back.
It's, I've done many, many things in my life, Adam. You know,
Adam?
Alan, sorry.
Wow.
First man...
I've been called some things in my time, but never Adam.
I'm sorry.
No,
First man to walk the earth.
Yes.
You know, the original man.
Thank you.
You know,
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
I'm sorry about that.
That's
I've done a lot of crazy things in my life, you know, as you can imagine. But the Mile High Club is something that I've never done. But
maybe on this next tour.
maybe, you know.
What about on a tour bus?
Oh, on a tour bus all the time.
Okay.
You know, there are beds on a tour bus. There are many.
Oh, what could you call it? Mile High. What can you call on the? Would you call it anything?
The Motorway Club.
The Motorway Club. I'm going to write that down. Ask someone next. Motorway Club. You remember the Motorway Club? Right, there you go. Every day's a school day, isn't it? I know about long pigs.
Long pigs and motorway clubs.
Are you a cannibal? Do you have a weak bladder? You might be intelligent. I've got a whole new load of questions.
How's your bladder?
I went through a very weird psychological thing where I thought I was weeing on stage and had to go and see a specialist.
Oh.
Yeah, and they gave me these massive wee-proof pants that he said, so when you wee on stage, and I wasn't weeing, I thought I was. And I said, I'm not wearing that. I'm not weeing, but they gave me these pants that are basically zip tie around my legs. If I did wee, they'd slowly inflate. But I said, that's going to make me more anxious. Can you imagine? I'm like, wait a minute, is Alan getting an erection? And I said, no. I said, I'm not pissing. I said, I am thinking I am. And that's why people are laughing. They're not laughing at the jokes. They're laughing because I've wet myself. It was really weird. I had to go and see someone. So now it's all right now, but I have to just think of something. It's adrenaline. It's not urine.
About 10 years ago, we started...
I overshare quite a bit on this show. Carry on.
About 10 years ago, Placebo started doing quite long shows that would last about 2 hours. And we'd have to build a pee break into the show, you know, which was kind of annoying. So after that, I decided that I would train my bladder. You know, so I remember this thing that
that's what I need.
That career alcoholics down the pub used to tell me, and that is just basically if you just hold it for as long as you possibly can, you know, you'll stretch it.
Oh.
And you'll stretch it enough.
What, the bladder or the penis?
The bladder.
Okay.
You'll
just
stretch.
Checking. People are watching. Want to know.
You'll stretch your bladder enough so that you can make it through 2-3 hours without having to go to the toilet. You know. So now, I'll show up at a gig and I'll only have a pee 5 minutes before the show, and I will have held it in for about 3 hours beforehand.
Yes.
And now I don't need a pee break anymore.
This is what I'm going to do before I go on.
Train your bladder.
Yeah.
Just hold it in for as long as you possibly can.
I'm going to burn my pants. I'm going to burn those pants.
Try not to break the seal until the very end.
Yeah, I'm like Mr. Pringles. Once you pop, I can't stop. And then last but not least, tip 'em or fuck 'em. Are you a good tipper?
Yes.
That's what I love about you, Brian.
I believe in tipping. I think, and I'd like to say this very clearly, I think everybody needs to tip their Deliveroo drivers.
I do.
You know?
I do.
It's essential. You know,
he has enough money from me, the amount of deliveries that come here. He's like, hello, Alan.
Yeah, these people don't make enough.
No.
You know, unfortunately. And so, you know, just tip your Deliveroo driver.
Yes.
You know, because they're providing you with sustenance. You know,
Yeah.
they're helping you stay alive.
Yes.
You know, and they, you know, cycling around.
Stay alive.
Well, yeah.
It's only a takeaway, Brian. I think you get. Thank you. Please.
Thank you. You saved my life.
Chicken nuggets, please. I need sustenance. Thank you so much for flying Alanair.
Oh, it's been a pleasure, and I've loved the free champagne.
Oh my God! Of course, please fly again. And if you'd like to go and collect your emotional baggage from the carousel.
Oh, there's a lot of it.
Thanks, Brian.
So I might be there for some time.
2 hours later. Hi, Brian. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
We hope you enjoyed your flight. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Don't ever forget, life's a beat.